that, please do. All right. So I think that we're almost there. I'm not seeing the live link up top. I'm sure Alisher is doing some magic behind the scenes to make sure that we can put that up in the nest. As soon as we figure that out, that will be helpful. See the arty fish is here. Trying to figure out who's missing. Um, I do lurk on all of you. Make sure you're here. If you see someone that should be here and isn't, definitely tag them, bag them, bring them in here, force them to come in. And we will do that. This is week 4 of season 7. We usually have 5 to 6 weeks. There were a couple that we had like 8, I think. I wanted to make sure that halfway through that kind of halfway mark, or a little bit past the halfway mark, we start thinking about what's next, right? You've built something, you've created a workflow, a monetizable workflow. What's the next step for you? What are your goals? What are your aspirations? What do you want to make out of this class, and how do you want from it? And for some people, it's not to create a business. Sometimes it's just to learn a new skill, to level up maybe in an existing position. We have a lot of people that do that too. So you have to ask yourself, what's the next step? And logically, there are many steps here that can be taken. If you are building a business, obviously, Innovators Think Tank on Saturdays is an ideal place for you to be, where you can pitch your idea. You can pitch your idea amongst people that are friendlies, and they will give you good advice, maybe help you see something that was a blind spot, or even just help you figure out which way you got to go in order to get funded or get to the next level. So I wanted to put that out there, as well as I do believe the deadline is coming up. I'll have to check to see if I can find at least Cash Money Kev's timeline. I'm afraid to move until I can hear Ross's voice, but they are creating an incubator. It's kind of like a little accelerator of sorts, and they are taking applications for a handful, and I think about 5 or 6, if I'm not mistaken. Folks that are already in that stage where they have clients, where they've established their business, and now they're looking to take it to the next step and hone the rest of the messaging, the narrative, the marketing, and all of that. And if you want to be considered, you got to put your name in the hat. You got to be present to win. So we want to make sure you would do that. Other than that, there are some other housekeeping things. We didn't have a cPanel this season, so you're not going to necessarily need the Mighty Networks or the Mastery or AI Mastery. For some of you, and I don't think we have anybody new that doesn't know about the AI Mastery ecosystem, but it's where our cPanels are housed. It's where we get a little bit of extra help if we need help with the technology in the background. And, those are the kinds of things that you have to marinate on. What's your next step? So if you're not familiar with AI Mastery, I think it's a $30 a month thing, worth every penny. I know, because they've hosted my own website and my cPanel. If you take your cPanel elsewhere, that's fine too. But I enjoy having the fact that I have training wheels if I frack it up. So if you are building something out and you need help, this is kind of the place to go. As always, my AI tutor and Pixio are at your disposal, and they are updated. So I highly recommend, if you haven't found a large language model of choice, you can have them all under one roof, and it's pretty spectacular. If you want to troll Julie Todd's timeline, some of the stuff that she has been building are super cool. And if you didn't know, Julie Todd is also a free agent. So if you're looking for folks that are going to help hone your craft, hone your messaging, and build something cool with some of the tools that Pixio has to offer, she is a she's a gem of a human, but she's also really good at what she does. And the proof is in the pudding. You can see it in her timeline and be delighted. I love it. I also wanted to point out one last thing. I am filling in space, which is kind of like harsh, but and I hope I'm checking all the boxes, because I know that Josh Hellman's going to listen back and he's going to say I forgot something, and then I'm going to feel guilty, and it's a vicious circle. Sharon has a wonderful magazine, What the LLM. You heard her under a different pre-FP just a minute ago. This is a physical magazine, guys, and I don't think folks really realize how much work it goes into, creating a serial publication. It's an incredible amount of work. It's not just hunting and gathering information. And I can tell you, um, even if you're using the AI tools to help augment your skill set in terms of creating the articles or creating the graphics and things like that, you still have to have an incredible amount of skill in terms of, your editorial calendar, your editorial content. What are you going to put in it? What are you not going to put in it? How are you going to distill down a fire hose? Because if any of you are familiar with Thursday AI, while we are having our class, our kind of post-mortem, Alex Tryon has his space, and that is the hub of AI on Thursday. A lot of things break during that time frame. He starts at 11:30, so it's shortly after our class starts. And if you're in class, don't fret. You can always listen to it afterwards. I guarantee it. I do. That's how I consume Weights and Bias. He also has a podcast, but it is one of the coolest resources if you are interested in AI and you're interested in what it's doing, what new things are out and about in the wild. But if you don't have time for that either, Sharon's Mag and give important nuggets. The nuggets that I find in the magazine are takeaway, so you can instantly act on them. Just like hopefully the skills that you're learning here on Wednesday night, we're hoping that they're actionable, that you can just say, okay, I can take this and run with it. And I can guarantee you it's happening. Masha does this. God, it's just so much fun to watch from the cheap seats. Masha has done some incredible stuff, and it's just, takeaway. You instantly distill it down. AI John is also like this. If you get a chance, he does have a daily show also. And I hope I haven't forgotten anybody. If I have, you come up and yell at me. I am perfectly cool with that. I see that we have, let's see, during the requests, folks, I'm just going to put this out here. Please don't hate me. I see you. I love you. I respect you. I want to give you a big, warm, fuzzy hug. But we're reserving the speaker spots for people in class. So if I don't recognize you right ahead and I don't see you in the Slack channel, I'm going to wave to you. I'm going to say hello and tell you I love you, but I'm not going to bring you up on stage because this is a class and we want to keep it short and sweet if we can. Today is a bit of a snafu. For those of you in the military, you know what that means. And we're trying to figure out how to get all the streams up and running. I'm still not seeing.
Stream should be up, and
The
I'll
live
be
stream
ready
should
in
be
like
up.
2
It's on the
minutes.
Jumbotron. And Ross, if you want to make me a co-host as well, I can help with
Okay, if
adding
I
people as
only knew how
speaker
to
help.
do this. Hold on.
I don't know either.
I have
That is so
literally
adorable.
no idea how to
You
do
are
this.
so adorable, Ross.
Isn't this
You're so
adorable? He's the only
I
one who can
love
ask him
you.
to be a co-host too.
Oh my gosh,
He
you're
has no
so
idea.
adorable.
Okay,
Perfect. Thank you.
did it work?
It'll work in a second. He'll see there he is. He's now a co-host. Thank goodness. So if it fracks up, it's not my fault. It's Alisher's. It's a him problem. It's a tech and schools problem. I will let them own that too. I will drink from my coffee cup of tears. Kidding, guys. The boys are awesome, and if you knew even half of what they're doing in the background, your jaw would be on the floor. They are incredible people, and they do just a fantastic job making sure that we have all the tools that we need, not just for tonight and not just for Thursday morning, but also Saturday night and also Monday. Alisher and Sharon do that. So Ross needs a couple extra seconds. Alisher, while I have you on my little phone in my pocket family, shining in all of your glory, pixelated and everything, did you want to go over a little bit about what you and Sharon are doing now on Monday nights, just for the recording
Yeah,
sake?
I'd love to. So on Monday nights, this Monday, we actually started working on Sharon's app. She has an app called Champ, and it's an app that helps you reach personal goals. So you select a few goals, you tell the app a little bit about the goals, and then the AI creates like a plan for you for the week. So you're able to achieve those goals, and then it puts them into calendar for you as well. So you have a calendar where you kind of have like your daily things to do to achieve those specific. It could be a fitness goal, it could be a reading goal, it could be learning a new skill. What else do you have in there, Sharon? I haven't fully explored it.
Financial goals, family goals, personal, like, relationship goals. And then one more, I think, travel, right? Really hobbies, doing stuff, better relationships, finance, and all that good stuff. Yeah. And we're going to be adding more fun, more features. But as soon as we got this done, Alisher is cleaning it up a little bit for me. He fixed a couple of things for me in the application, and we're going to be adding more features. And as soon as we got it, the first iteration up, you guys can test it and try it out for free. We'll let you guys know. We would love to have you guys test it so that you guys can give us feedback.
Yeah, we might even switch to AI Tutor API for some of it, because it does some of it could use some of the web scraping that AI Tutor API has. So it'd be a good review for you guys for this season whenever we do decide to make that switch. And then also we have our class coming up in the beginning of April. I think me and Sharon, we set a weekend for April 4th through April 6th for our WordPress class. So if you need a website, if let's say you have a Squarespace website and you want to switch to something much cheaper that's not gonna, charge you $300-400 a year. If you have Substack and you're just like done with Substack, you're done with those monthly subscriptions to have your online presence to pretty much be online. This might be the class for you, where we'll help you build your WordPress out, and we have a few themes ready and lined up for you guys to use. Or maybe you want to build some sort of an e-commerce store, or maybe you want to do one of those things like direct to consumer printing stores. You could do one of those for your own merch. So this class could be an interesting exploration for you of what you potentially want to do when it comes to building a website. Maybe you just want to build a blog and then charge people to access that blog, like Medium or New York Times, or even Sharon's own website. Right? Sharon has her own What the LLM website, where you can go and read some of the articles she publishes. She also has her own Substack, so she could tell you how all of these Substack, Squarespaces, she's been a customer in all of them, and how limited and kind of not very customer friendly they are, versus building something that's your own that doesn't even require any coding. That's all like visual building. And then I think we're also going to have like a beginner course too. But what's up, Ross? I see you unmuting.
Oh no, I was just gonna ask you. Do you see the stream? Is it good now? I had some like glitchy issues.
I see the stream. I hear the audio in the stream, so you should be good to go.
Okay, cool.
I think
The
so
stream
too.
is on the AI Tutor homepage, right?
Yep, that's
Perfect.
where it crashed before.
Okay.
I think we're good to go.
Two things before we begin. Really quick announcement. O1 Pro Max Thinking is coming to AI Tutor. Just got an email. So that model will be available soon, like later today, hopefully.
Oh, powerful.
The most powerful
Ooh,
model
that's
in the
gonna be
whole world,
powerful.
apparently.
Yep.
Did
Well,
you
for
want to
me,
tell
it
something
is.
about it for those that may not know?
Just that it's what's in OpenAI's $200 a month. It's the most advanced, heaviest model they have for doing research and analysis and thinking and all that stuff. And I was just like, while I was getting the stream up, I saw that I got an email from OpenAI. So after tonight's stream, I'm going to begin the integration, which should take just a few minutes.
Perfect. Perfect. For those of you on the recording, because I'm looking at the audience and I think most of you already know this, but Tech in Schools and Pixio always have the newest stuff. And usually you get the newest stuff before other people do. And I think that's one of those first mover advantages that is very special. Being able to use new tools and understanding how they differ from the others is really valuable. I've noticed more and more too in um, teachers at first were very, at least at university level, did not like chat gpt, but I think it's very interesting that now chat gpt has kind of become the Kleenex. And if you know this, once upon a time Kleenex was named as a tissue, a nose tissue, and every nose tissue on the market became a Kleenex. It was such a broad term, and it just everybody used it. ChatGPT is kind of the same way in terms of when people are talking about large language models on a university campus, they don't even realize that there are many different models available to them. Many of the public out in the wild do not either. They don't know that there are other models available and that they do different things. There are certain things that one model might do monumentally better than the other. And that is one of the other reasons why it's always important to kind of, poke around in my AI tutor, figure out what's new. And whenever there's here's what we've updated, here's the new page. And also, if you're not in the Discord channel, you can see that right away. You can also see if there's something wrong with something, maybe there's a glitch, or maybe, we've had here in class a couple times where, OpenAI has just gone kapooey, and then, you're just sitting there like a duck in the water. But with TSI, you're not. You usually are up and running, or have other options at your fingertips. So you don't have to interfere or interrupt your workflow and your project, which I think is really, really special. If you don't know the difference between the models, maybe some of you are stuck in your ways. I know I am. I got spoiled early on with Beam, and it's kind of my go-to. But depending on your niche and what it is that you're using it for, certain things are going to just strike your fancy, and you're going to kind of become cemented. I encourage you, don't do that. Don't be like me. Just go out and explore a little bit, figure out what everything does and how the responses differ. It's just a little nuance, but that nuance can be magnified, a lot depending on what industry you're in and what you need it for. These aggregators and the newer models that are just so wicked cool when it comes to research. It is incredible if you follow the AI kind of X in general. There's little pockets. If you follow Sharon into rooms, 9 times out of 10 you'll find your AI geeky people. But you'd be amazed at what some of these people are doing and the science that is being done, and just accelerated because of the research capabilities. So if you are somebody that is a data wonk, for instance, this is your Super Bowl, folks. It just is. And I'm looking forward to seeing the updates. Ross, are you ready to go, friend?
I am, but I want to know, did anyone do their homework? Or is it all just like we didn't do it at all?
I will tell you I did not do it. And you can just yell and scream at me, but I have to get a big.
What was the homework?
I know.
Oh no.
Sharon, I love you.
So the homework was to create a second workflow and begin doing things with 2 inputs and 3 inputs and etc. Anybody do that?
Oh, I already did that. Oh gosh, I'm lucky. Oh, I'm so lucky.
Yeah, I didn't know that was the homework, but that's what I did.
So
I think most of you already had your homework done before we ended the class last night or last week. I'm pretty sure that's why most of you don't have homework. The idea was to do some others so that you got in the flow, had that muscle memory. I'm serious, but go ahead, Ross.
Those of you who did it in Slack, there is an invite to the stream. I want you to come show us what you did. I want to see how far you guys got.
Magna, it's on
It's
you.
on all of
bro.
you.
I got my stream going. Magna has to do it.
Well, is it only two
Nope.
people that did
Not mine.
that have it? That's it? Just two of you?
If they were
You know
already
what,
in the
Ross?
Shall I
stream.
come in the stream? I can come in the stream if you want me to. I just gotta.
I
open
think
mute.
that there are definitely more people that did their homework than can come up and talk. They can't live stream their projects. I think that's one of the other
I mean,
things.
they could come up and talk. That's okay.
Cool. I mean, you do not have to share your screen. You do not have to be put, in front of the firing squad. That's why we have Sharon. She takes it for all of us. She is our, our shield, our shield maiden, as they say. I know that I get DMs quite frequently, and I know I know who you are, right? They're not guilting you to come up. There are genuinely people who are introverted, and coming up and talking about their project is the least. They would rather walk across hot coals as opposed to coming up. I get it. I understand it. And we're not going to pressure you. We're not going to guilt you into it either. But if you do, I will tell you this to encourage. If you do come up and show what you've been working on, it is a gift multiplied. I know it's very uncomfortable, but not only are you sharing your workflow with other people, your triumphs, your shortcomings, and things like that, you're also honing your own skills in terms of how to communicate with your classmates here. There are no other real sanctuaries for you to do that. On X. I mean, we're your pocket family, and we're not going to judge you. We want to hear what you're doing, and more so, give you the practice to talk about your stuff that you're building. Because you know what? Unless you show somebody, unless you talk about it, it doesn't exist out in the real world. I had a meeting today, actually, with someone. I was sitting there with Star Boss, and we were talking about our patent. And she's like, "Yeah, no one knows about it until you tell them." And it's absolutely true. We weren't ready, obviously, to do all of the bells and whistles, but when you think about things like that, you're building something, and you're the only person that knows. So come on up. Go ahead, Ross.
No, I was drinking something. I coughed. Yeah. If anyone wants to come tell us what you guys added, it'd be helpful for other students to kind of see like what you did. And if not, then I guess we'll just go into what we're gonna do, which is adding new stuff to the homepage and creating more complicated workflows with code. And if you guys have any ideas that you want me to cover, this is where you want to come up because I will add it into today's lesson in what we're building. And if you don't have requests, I'll do random things. But the requests are useful because if you're trying to build it in your app, we could actually build it here on stream. And then I could just give you the code, or you can like alter the code, if that makes sense. I got a weird disconnecting notice on my phone, so I don't know. Do you guys still hear me?
We can still
Yep,
hear you, but
we'll hear you.
that weird disconnecty thing means stop dinking around in the background and stay on the host space. Make Alisher fix everything. I'm just kidding, Alisher. Artie Fish has a question, and then I think Sharon had her hand up too. Go ahead, Artie.
Well, hello, Sarah. It's nice to hear your voice again this week.
I'm
And
tackle hugging you. There you go. Continue.
Alice, sure, Ross, everybody, Sharon, how are y'all doing? And so yeah, I don't really have my homework done because I'm kind of still trying to catch up, and I'm kind of lost at what puts everything together. Like if I had a request, it would be so like the Klein thing came out, and all these things are coming out, but I can't make them work in JavaScript or JS code or the command line. It's just I don't know. It just kind of confuses me. So I'm pretty much just here to listen and try to watch and learn what you guys do. more than I am trying to actually build something. So that's where I'm at, guys. That's why I was just quiet in the beginning, and I don't really have my homework done, but I'm trying. I really am. But yeah.
Well, what part of it is like the part that's confusing you?
Well, it's like when I try to use like Cursor or Klein or Notebook or anything to help me build something, I just don't know enough about building it to what it's supposed to be doing for me, or what window I'm supposed to be in next. It's like
Well,
I don't understand like when you start your workflow, don't you start like your SAS server, right? And then you like run the server on the command line, right? Those two things. That's what kind of makes it work, right?
yeah, so you would like install it and then run it. Yeah.
Right. But so once I have one running, I can't install another one, right?
Yeah, it would just go on to the next port.
Yeah,
Good.
see. Okay. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at, Ross. I'm just kind of trying to keep up and learn and with you guys. So yeah.
Well, Artie, just so you know, one of the things that we had, I should say, a student in, I think it was season 4, went through the entire season just listening, because sometimes this concept is so new to somebody that they just need to sit back and just watch and see how it all unfolds. And then after it's in its completion, they'll go back, re-listen to everything, and then build alongside. Some people just learn that way. And so give yourself some grace. If you're in podcast mode, that's kind of what we talk about. Um, it's still learning. You're learning by watching, by doing, by hearing, and you can continue to do that. And sometimes, honestly, we don't know what we don't know, or what it is that we actually want. So when you think about a workflow, one of the questions that we had behind the scenes, I think in week 2, was, I've never had a workflow. I don't even know what this is. I know you've explained it to me, but I don't see why it's important. And then they waited until last week, and then they're like, oh, it clicked. They understand it, because not all of us are developers. Some of us, this is completely foreign. Like, you showed up to class and you've never seen any of this stuff before. That's okay. And the fact that you're here and you're showing up and you're willing to learn something new, that's half the battle. And especially if you're here every week, eventually it'll click. And when it does, you're going to be hyper proficient and definitely prolific, because,
Hey.
it's fun. It's fun to build stuff, especially when you understand it. So
I watched the video today, and it was really enlightening. I learned about MCPs. So kind of like, and real quick, we started with LLMs, right? That's where we started. And then we went to LLMs plus, like, say, tools, 3 tools that all speak different languages, French, German, and English. And then we went to MCPs. So now they all talk together, and they talk to the LLM, and they make the LLM much, much better, much more effective than just answering a question or predicting the next word. So that's what I learned today. So that's what I'm kind of doing here. So I'm just trying to learn things, a chunk at a time, and then put them all together. You know what I mean?
I will tell you, like, so Cursor at your stage is, for this project in particular, is probably not helpful, because you can pretty much understand the whole project. It's small enough, right?
Right.
And we created the project, like, and we know all parts about it. So the thing with Cursor is it could start code, like, in all sorts of places. And
Hallucinating, huh?
you have to understand what it's changing. Though YOLO mode sounds totally fun, it's not fun when everything you're building around you just breaks.
Right.
And so with this particular thing, what you need to focus on and like work on is, like, you basically starting the dev server. Like, this is all easy. Creating the workflows is technically pretty easy. You just go to the website and make the workflow. But the code part, you need to start fundamentally understanding how things work. So, like, we're only working with one page at this point, right? So you can give it to AI Tutor and be like, hey, I want to make this page do this, or I want to add this to this. Like, you have to first break down how all the things are working. So if you're following along up until this, like, for this season, then you've heard the explanations of all the things and how it all works together. So, like, if you're still sort of cloudy on how something works, you should bring it up and clear that up rather than just sit on the sidelines, because you'll learn far more by trying and failing than watching.
Yeah, I did try to make a couple workflows over the week, but it didn't come out very well.
But did your workflows have 1 input or 5 or 6 or 12?
Well, I was just trying to make one with one, actually, like a
Okay.
presentation professional, but
Okay.
I never did get it to work. So,
So, but did you do all the things that you had to do to get it to work, such as like put in the ENV, correctly put in all the keys? Do you know how to get all the keys?
well, see, that's another thing. So, like when I'm in JS Code, I get kind of lost to what.
But this isn't coding. This is like a file called .env.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I did edit that last week, so I've seen that for
So
sure.
is that in your code right now?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you, Ross.
Well, you can look and you can see.
Well, the only thing I have in there now is in index.html and then a client extension in my JS Code.
Yeah, but we don't even have index.html.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm in the wrong.
So like what you got to do is go to the GitHub and hit open with GitHub Desktop and open it up fresh. And then all you really got to do is just put your keys in, and it's pretty much going to work if it's one workflow. You just got to change one thing. And that's the coding part. And it's super easy. It's changing one page. And you don't need cursor. You don't need, you're like over engineering a simple solution.
Right.
You can just give it to AI Tutor or any like really good AI that has Sonnet and 3.7 and just be like, hey, can you make this code do this? And it will do it. You definitely do not need Klein. That definitely is going to make things more complicated.
Right.
Same with Cursor. Same with Windsurf. For what it's worth, my favorite is Windsurf. That's my favorite one.
Those are all tools. The Windsurf. Those are all tools.
Yeah, they're autonomous coding tools, but it's like, they don't. Like I was using Cursor the other day and it created like 2 SRC folders, which totally breaks your app. And it was like dumb enough to do that. So these tools still make wrong calls and you have to know like this is not the right call.
Right, exactly.
And then you'd have to go and undo the 4 different things it just edited. Also, fundamental flaw I noticed using Cursor and Windsurf, there's no like go back in time button. It's a crucial thing that they're missing here. See, people, they expect you to use Git, but like the UI should be able to jump back to a moment in time before like 13 changes occurred.
Right.
But it can't, unfortunately. That was one of the things that was really frustrating for me using it. But I would say it's actually pretty easy what we did, and you literally have access to the correct models. So you just got to give the model the correct thing. So like in my case, like for everyone's case, pretty much, you're gonna have this same breakdown. The main difference is your / API is gonna be different. Like the run is gonna be different because it's gonna look for the story parameter. Your run has to look for whatever your parameter is.
Right.
And so all you're doing is basically giving AI Tutor the code you see on stream, like right here, and you're just telling AI Tutor to change it, and you're giving AI Tutor what we give you inside the API. So in the API, you get access to this little thing in your workflow. So I'll click my workflow so you can see. I get a deploy tab, which has the code necessary and needed to pull this off.
Oh, okay.
So like this is the code you feed to AI Tutor to fix the code in your VS Code.
Is that also the code that you put into the command line terminal to run it?
No, not at all. The command line only has 3 things, which is npm run dev, npm install, and then the database pushes. Did you get the thing to work from the get go, or your database doesn't work? Like nothing works.
Well, I went to the GitHub and I put it into my desktop, and now I've got just I don't think that's the right one. I've got the
Yeah, but what about Neon? Remember Neon?
Yeah.
That hosts our stuff? Does your database exist?
Yes, I do have Neon still. Um, it says that it's all okay, actually.
So you should try to put your env there and do npm run dev.
Let's see if this works.
And if that works, then your app pretty much exists.
Oh, it says missing script. npm missing script.
So if it says missing script, that means you're not in the right file. You have to open the right file. If you want, I
Right,
could show you
I'm
if you come
looking.
really quick to the live stream.
Yeah, I'm in your live. I see the live stream.
Okay, hold
Oh,
on.
you mean present it?
Yeah, you can present.
Okay, okay. My friend down there is gonna shoot me, but I'm gonna share my whole screen again. I should just
You can
let's see,
share.
which screen do you want to see? Which window do you want to see?
Is that Jodell? Is Jodell gonna yell at you?
That was Batman down there. He's my buddy. He teaches me.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Which one do you want to see? The command line?
Yeah, like just your whole screen.
Okay. Can you see it?
Checking right now.
I'm not seeing any hands, honey
Okay.
bear. Yep. I saw that Jack is in the room and Zoo has also showed up. I wanted to say hello to them. And Lucia, have not said hello to all of them. I did see LTO earlier. And I just want to make sure you all know that I love you. But continue on. Oh, Magna, I think, has a hand up.
Zoo
Just
is a
so.
beautiful soul. No, I don't have
Isn't
my
he?
I don't have my hand up. I was just waving to say hi.
Zoo is very, very special. Actually, you know what? Our whole entire Pocket family are pretty cool. I mean, I
I
think
agree. I do.
the universe sends us, folks that share our same North Star, and it's just lovely, lovely, lovely. Go ahead, Ross. I interrupted you. I know,
No,
but I
you're
was looking for
good.
hands.
I'm actually gonna go use the bathroom really quick while he's logging in. So
Well,
yeah,
if I mention my seat, you'll get a good
I
name,
will.
or if you mention my name, you'll get a good seat. I think that's how it works. But um, my mother is obnoxious. That's what she would always say. Hey, Sarah, if you mention my name, you'll get a good seat in the back. But yes, we all have to do that. If any of you have to take a stretch right now, just stand up in your chair, touch your toes, get something to drink, please do. It is hard to sit in on these classes for hours on end, right? And, we want to make sure that you're taking good care of yourself also. So it is something that we don't usually talk about, especially in some of these, massive marathon classes, but you know having a little break on your eyes and things like that are smart. And don't worry, you're not going to miss anything. You can always come back and listen to it on the recording. There is a cheat, just timestamp if you walk away from your desk, and then put it on a sticky note, and you can go back and see if you missed anything important. 9 times out of 10, it's not that important. Right. It'll all in context, you can suss it out. So one of the other things I was mentioning, I haven't seen any other questions in the background, so I think you guys are all above board and figuring it out. What I wanted to know is, after last week, we were kind of doing a public brainstorm, sort of. I know it was on Thursday, I think. Um, you know, there is always this aha moment when you think to yourself, I can actually use this right away. You know, we heard that with Masha. Definitely heard that with Artie. I know that Magnus had his moments, and same with John. You know, if you had the ability to share with other people, we try not to shill too much. I will definitely shill TSI until the day I die. But um, what would you tell others out in the wild that they can build, that they're capable of? And have you shared that? Because that's also something that's really important. Making sure that you're sharing the things that you're building with other people. It is also a gift multiplied, right? You're learning how to communicate, how to transfer your skills, but also, you never know, that could be the missing piece to someone's business plan. And these flows in general, it's really like the secret sauce, right? When you think about the Renaissance era, for instance, you would have apprentices. That's what Leonardo da Vinci had, Michelangelo had. They'd start this process, but the apprentices would do all the busy work. They'd mix the paint, and they do all of these things to proper specifications. And as they're doing that and apprenticing, they're actually learning how to do and to follow the master, right? You learn the process, the flow of how to take a project or take an idea to impact. And that's kind of, in this AI augmented ecosystem, having that workflow, or having the other things that you're working with, all the different pieces, and how they play and interchange with one another, is really valuable. And I know that we don't talk about it enough, but the secret sauce, that's what make Coca-Cola Coca-Cola. There's the secret sauce. But at any rate, Alisher, did you have anything else that you wanted to add, about what we're seeing, what we're doing, and how you could use it out in the wild, an actionable item, if you were to think it through, just to share with some other people in the audience?
I think it's just about thinking what can you automate, right? If you're going to all these different AIs and you're doing all these different things, how can you kind of combine that into one workflow where one click can do it all for you. And then also last week we went over some of the use cases, right? So I think we build an ad builder where you can build a Google ad just by scraping a website. So that's what you have to think about. You have to think about, okay, how do I build these inputs? Now, how do I get the right inputs? So maybe you want to make sure that your AI is outputting structured content, something with a structure. And then how do I now interpret those outputs and build a UI around it? Build something that'll look nice around it when people log in and they get the AI response. So it doesn't feel like it's just like another AI chatbot type platform. And instead, it's a little bit more, I guess, customized for the use case, right? These are the idea of like a micro SaaS. Instead of somebody going to ChatGPT and setting it up and doing it all there, they can just go to your platform, log in, and do it with one click without having a setup. That's kind of what you want to go for if you're really building this out into a SaaS product.
Well, the other thing too is you really want to, I know this sounds interesting and weird, but you almost want to set the barrier to entry a smidge higher. You know, the ecosystem is really saturated with a lot of interesting stuff, but you have the opportunity to take it up a notch and make it a little bit more unique and definitely I don't know, more desirable. I have been noticing we do have a lot of people that do follow our spaces, which we're glad about. You know, we don't really worry about having things out in the wild or open source because it just makes the whole entire ecosystem better. And 9 times out of 10, if they're watching what we're doing and then they see how easy it is to use, my AI tutor or a Pixio, then it helps the collective good. We want to make sure that we can get this product or these toys in the hands of young kids. But when you're thinking about a micro SaaS, and these are quick solutions, you know um, when you're out in the wild and you have a specific skill set, the ability to help other people, it's not just solving their problem, you're actually baking yourself into their business plan. And I don't think people really truly understand how important or how valuable that is. It's like giving a referral, or if you have a favorite person that does works on your car, works on your hair, or whatever, they run solely on referrals. And so when you think about how you're helping somebody and you're serving them because you've identified a need, and it just a task, whatever, something that you can automate and make their lives, improve their lives, and make it better. You have a person that is going to continually to come back. They're going to come back and see what else you have that can aid them, or they might even ask you to build something specific and tailor it to them. What's really interesting is that you can pull from your personal experiences, right? We were talking about earlier with Sharon, where maybe it's something that tells you how to, your diet or your exercising routine, with some of the tools that TSI has, especially when it comes to health, right? We had a demo a while back, I guess a couple weeks ago, where you could actually upload your blood work. um, I don't think people really understand how important that is. I was talking to a lady today who is an independent. She's a 1099. She's not an employee. So she doesn't have medical coverage. It's all out of pocket for her. And to be able to have the ability to create something that could monitor her glucose levels. She's not a diabetic, but she's right on the cusp. And when you're right on the cusp like that, you can change and modify your diet. Maybe it's intermediate fasting, maybe it's whatever. I'm not a doctor, I don't play one on TV, but she knows exactly what she has to do. And instead of hiring the dietitian from the hospital that's charging her $1,000 a month, she has the ability to create a micro SaaS specifically for her to keep her healthy and to keep her off of insulin. That's something that's really special. It's really powerful. And when you think about the folks in your world, your elderly relatives, your neighbors, um, the ability to help people is just a really amazing thing. And so I just wanted to put it out there. There are lots of possibilities. Sometimes people are like, why am I wasting my time this? How can it, help me now? Is it going to when moon? I want a Lambo, fill in the blank. Are you going to become super, super wealthy overnight? Who knows? Sometimes you can. It depends on idea is and how many people actually that they need this. And guaranteed, if it is very popular, you're going to have a whole bunch of people copying you, but that's okay. you know you just need to have your sphere of influence and your 300, as they say. Ross, are you done, my love?
I am back. Artie, did you re-log in?
I did,
Okay,
and
I'll bring you up in a second.
I'm looking in the deploy here for all these words over here in JS Code. I can't find where to. I'm supposed to copy what's in deploy and put it in the JS Code, right?
It's I don't know what you're talking about, but if
Well,
you
with the second input, it changed my JavaScript
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah. Share your
workflow.
screen so I can see what you're doing, and I'll show you.
Oh, we got to find stream. I think it should be there.
All right, I'll check right now. Hang on. sense? Anyone else having like major troubles, like customizing their workflows, doing things, anything like that? Because then we have to talk about chat.
I'm not seeing any hands up, Honey Bear.
Okay.
No, this is going so well. No hands. People are happy. I'm thrilled because of all the stuff I've just learned.
Well, that's great. We're excited for you. Learning is fun, you know? It's like crazy when you learn how this stuff works because then you could really build something cool. Um, I literally took all the ideas from, multi-chaining agents that me and Sharon made like 2 weeks ago with the API, and I brought it straight into Multibot. Look at how seamless that is. Whoever has used it. Like, it's so cool. It's rolling out soon to everyone. But imagine your agent gives you an answer, then that answer gets sent to the next agent who does something with it, then to the next agent, all automatically on auto. And like, imagine chaining 10. It's so crazy. It could probably write a whole article, Sharon, because now you have 10 agents to like make sure it's good. And like the last one could be like Claude for writing, or 4.5, or O1 Pro, which is coming to the API, guys. How cool is that? In our API, O1 Pro is coming.
I never thought about doing that. So the thing is, but that's how we could maybe circumvent or go past this fine tuning where we really have to, because I can imagine. So I'm in my mind, building workflows can be very stable and they can be way more accurate if you have those judges behind it that just make it. And I would recommend everybody do this. This is a secret, right? If add these judgment layers to it, because the thing that people really don't like is when the AI is wrong, straight up wrong. And you're probably not going to be able to fix it 100%. But if you're giving certain outputs and you guys know that these AIs are not perfect, add some layers, because that will make your app better than other people's apps. Just if you are a bit more accurate or have a bit more in-depth information for whatever you're doing. So these layers are really they're valuable, I would say. That's what makes it special and unique, I think, also.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Chaining 10 agents together is like no joke. I could only imagine what you can do. I'm going to be playing with it tonight. And O1 Pro. There's like so much happening today. Getting O1 Pro in the agent flow inside this API. Can you imagine building your next like workflow using O1 Pro? It's happening for sure. We just gotta wait for like the code. I
Oh,
got to code and do what you guys are doing.
oh man. Yeah, Alisha, oh man, this is gonna be so cool. Yeah, I'll talk to you offline about it. But yeah, that's awesome. With the O1, actually. That's really cool. I already know what I would do with it.
Well, as we speak right now, O1 Pro is hitting Beam 3. So in like 3 minutes, it'll be available for anyone who has Ultra. And then slowly I'll trickle it into other apps, but it's gonna take a few days. Coding is it's fun, but it can get real complicated really fast. So you guys want to go slow. You want to take notes, especially around what we're gonna learn right now, because none of you know about it, and everyone's gonna asking me about it, and everyone's like, "How do you do it?" Now we're gonna go through it. Go get a notepad. Get your favorite color pen, because now we're gonna learn something completely new. Because now, what if you want to bring ChatGPT style interaction to your app with full-on streaming with the AI SDK provided by Vercel? How in the world do we do this? What's a token? How do we get it? Why do we need it? Where do we put it? How do we make a chat bot? Why is there a website input? And what do I do with PDFs? What's the point of this? How does this all work? That's where we're at right now. So we're going to learn streaming chat responses, instant rotatable secure chat tokens, and using the embedded RAG system in the API and how that works. So, step one is look at the live stream. Do you guys see this chat? So this is an Alisher's template. Let me know if you guys see it.
Yeah, we can see it. So
Now, Alisher, does this count against us with chatting?
No, it doesn't.
So one of the things you want to do is like make that count against the user. So
I think Ross rugged Sarah.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
no, I'm here. I was just on mute like a
There
psychopath.
we go.
So this is not counting with your credits on the front end, but it is totally taking tokens from the back end. It constitutes as one token when you're running it. So chats can get expensive really fast. So you want to make sure you're charging your users tokens for chats too. You got to write that in. That doesn't exist. We did not build that. Alisher did not put it in there. So if you launch with chat or you build anything with chat, just know you're paying for the back and forth.
They don't have anything to do with one another, workflow and chat, right?
Nope, they're totally different.
But I can fine tune the chat bot, right? I forgot
Yeah, you could.
if that's
Yeah.
possible,
Yep.
right? Okay, good. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I had to fix my computer. I had too much stuff on it,
So
but now I'm
Ross,
safe.
quickly, would you charge like, or how would you do that per message? Are we being charged like we pay tokens per message, right? Or
yeah, so when you're running a workflow, it's one run. When you're chatting, it's a run. So if you have the user chat 10 times, it's 10 runs. 10 tokens.
I see. Okay.
So you basically want to when the enter send button is sent and a response is like someone gets it, it needs to take away from your tokens in the bottom left in the green. That's step one. And then you're safe because then users are paying you, so you have no problem buying tokens for the API.
And Ross, is it input? So answer, well, query and response, right?
Are you asking what
is
you're
that's a
charged
run.
for?
No, I'm just asking. A run is also when the AI. So
So a
you
run is a query plus a
input and out.
response. Yeah, you get
Oh, that's a run. Oh my
yeah.
gosh. Okay. Wow. Okay.
So basically, when the AI is responding, you're getting charged a run. This is like the easiest way to think about it. So you're not being charged like 5,000 tokens if it's like a paragraph or 2 paragraphs. You're being charged for the one run. The one token will disappear from the back end.
And we can still, Ross, set up our um our prompt to also limit the amount of tokens back and forth between myself. Like if I say do something
Yeah.
in brief, I can
Yep.
start ensuring that less and less tokens have to go
Exactly.
across. I have a really unique way that I use of making sure that I only get information that's essential to me immediately. So
And that works very well too. And you guys will get you'll get some tokens every month as being a subscriber, and you can now click the button and you can buy packs of tokens now. So if you're gonna go live and you run out of tokens, you simply just go into settings and you can actually purchase tokens. It's like packs of tokens basically, like a future age arcade. An example of how it looks, I'll show you on stream. It's pretty cool. So you just hit like this upgrade button and it sends you to this page. So you can literally purchase $25 of tokens, $50, and 100. Those are them like the max. And then once you purchase it, it gets added to your balance, basically. So that'd be like when you're production and you hit 0. That's what you'd want to do. And so now it's like you can actually use this in an application safely because you're controlling the spend. Like there's no auto charge, right? It'll just stop working. And then you can just go get credits. So it's like a really safe way to use all these models, especially like the more expensive ones that can get out of hand pretty quickly. Any questions so far?
On your workflow, this scraper, you got like the scraper workflow on there.
Uh-huh.
Interestingly, I see that one. It's very cool looking, I think. It might be interesting
Yeah,
to see how you did that.
yeah, so you can see it right here.
Oh, yeah.
This is what it looks like.
Okay.
Ross. I was just able to open Slack. I couldn't. Now, so what branch do I go to get the new workflow? Is it just, that is it, right? New workflow. Is that what
What are
it's
you talking
called?
about?
No, that's wrong. Well, I messed up. I can't find my project. So GitHub, the AI will publisher sent it to me. SaaS starter. Now, where is the chained workflow? Is it
It's
ITT season 7?
no, I sent it to you in Slack. Go to Slack, go to the GitHub. It looks like this. I'm sharing it on screen right now.
Wait a minute. Let me see. Okay. And chain workflow. I was just in Slack. Did I get the wrong link? Okay, maybe.
Maybe.
It's so strange. All I see is main and ITT season 7. I don't get it. I'm being
Wait,
retarded, I think. I'm
what do
not
you
sure.
mean? Share your screen.
So let me, so 7 commits.
I'm literally on
I don't
it.
get it. Let me look one more time. Yeah, I can't see that. See, that's so funny. Or maybe I'm not doing it right. Main branches. I see main and I see ITT.
All right, share your screen. I think I could help. to use these workflows, you can go learn a lot from this.
I just see a blank screen.
Oh, maybe because she disconnected. This is what it looks like. Do you see now?
Not yet.
Really? All right,
Well, there's a lag. It takes about
I'll
5
refresh it.
seconds. Now it's up.
Okay. So yeah,
So the API example, and then what was the other one?
chain workflow and multi workflow.
And those are all public
Yeah,
under you, Rothman?
under me.
Okay.
Okay. So now we are going to talk about streaming. So see how I said what is TSI? It knew about TSI. This is not like programmed. It's RAG. It's literally pulling directly from my website in real time. And I could say things just like what ages. And I could say, tell me about who they are. And it's gonna like literally read parts of my website. And so you control this inside the API. And it's not in editor. In workflows, it's in chatbots. And so this particular chatbot is, I honestly don't remember, but I will find out right now. It ends in KOX. So it's using O3, I think. So it looks like this. So it knows this because in edit, I selected a website. Do you see that? So if you want to go make a chatbot right now, step one is make a bot, put a website, or upload a PDF. Those are your two options. Did you guys do that yet?
Ross, where did you start from that? From chain or from the?
No, just in the API. You go to the API, choose chatbots.
Oh, okay.
I could put you on stream if you want to do it together.
No, it's okay. I'll see if I can find it.
So you guys should go. You should basically go to chatbots, make a chatbot. I have 4 because I'm crazy. You should have 1 because you're normal, or 2 because you're also crazy, or 6 because you're like me. But basically, wanna go in there, and you'll notice that there's like users, right? What are these users? The users are people that are talking with the bot. So we're tracking anonymous users. We're not really tracking their name or anything. Just basically for our data, for your back end of data, of that a user did chat with your bot. Now in chatbots, you have deploy and you have embed. So embed is like the sort of not so nice way to do it. Also, it does say buy AI Tutor API there. So that's going to be on your website. And if you want to remove that, you have to use it the other way, which is what we're going to learn now. So no embedding, no iframes. Everyone, where I'm at right now? Are we together? And then you'll notice in deploy, there's no code. So it's like, oh no. And then if you hit deployment instructions, it goes here to our API docs. And if you click Vercel, you go to Vercel. Why is that? Anyone know? Wrong answers only. No, I'm kidding. If you think you know the right answer, I mean. But take a guess. Why are we doing it like this? Anyone have a guess?
Because it's using Vercel functions or
Nope.
some features? No?
Close though. Any other guesses before I give you the answer?
SDK?
Yes. So the Vercel AI
That's what I
SDK
meant.
is amazing, but we're not using Vercel AI at all. We're just pretending to. So we're formatting our request to match theirs, which means that when you build with their SDK, it can work with our API. They're kind of like plug and play. Now, in Alisher's demo, oh my god, I got scared that the API was broken. This is the local version of the API. We're good. So in Alisher's demo where it says streaming, which is chatbot, right? No, streaming, because chatbot's the other thing. Streaming is where you want to be in your AI, in your deployment. You'll notice that I'm able to chat with that chatbot, specifically this one. But there's no code. The only thing I get here is this. And then it says creating a token. So it's a lot of links that end back up at our documentation. So let's go there and talk about it. So in our docs, we have a few things going on here. We have the RAG stuff. And then we have the AI Tutor endpoint. So you'll notice it says that there's run workflow. This is what we're using, by the way. So this is how we're running. So you can always go to AI Tutor, copy this documentation, give it to your LLM of your choice, and then it will know what to do based on what we wrote here. Hold on. Lots of DMs. Like 20 DMs. Oh, I'll get to them later. Okay, so get token. This one's important. So who kind of gets an idea of what this is? Anyone? Has anyone read this, looked at this at all in our API?
Yes, that's the point where I messed up my code.
Oh. Well, we gotta fix it. So what this means is we basically, to get you a token, we need an API key, a chatbot ID, and a string. Now here's what's crazy. If you think about what we just learned right now, we're gonna apply it, and I need someone to volunteer for tribute. Who would like to play? Anyone? You learn by doing, people.
Volunteering for what?
You volunteer. Great. So share your screen and I'll show you.
What?
So when you're sharing, let me know and I'll show you what to do.
Um, um,
I'll remove me.
On side note,